All right. Thank you all for tuning in to the Queen Tulsa Show. And listen here, we have a great live for you today. Listen here, Scat Medusa, fake cousin Sippy exposed Kimmy, and she got checked. And guess what? The false prophet was there and she lost her wig. Well, listen here, we do have a special guest that's going to come up. All right. Hey, Davita, how are you, beautiful? Oh, you're on
Yeah,
mute.
yeah. What's up? What's up, guys? It's been a minute. Oh man, I'm doing good. How are you? You looking beautiful as well. I love that picture.
Oh, how you doing? I'm very much so fine. Thank you so much. How are you feeling on this beautiful Wednesday, hump day, July the 3rd? Okay.
Well, I created a new blog post because I have a blog post that's separate from celebrity gossip where I share work from home jobs and things and side hustles and stuff, and just been chilling, working things out, creating different digital products and stuff like that, and be checking out YouTube. So much has changed in the jag right sector, for real, for real.
Yes, and I'm so excited to hear about what you have working on. We have to schedule an interview so you can come on so it can be all about you. But listen here, before we get into the hot topics, you ready to go to Queen City? In
Let's
five,
go. Let's go.
four, three, two, one. All right, so we are back and we are here. Are up in the studio. Let's go ahead and see who's in the chat. We have Wani11 that flew in. We got Davita Jane up in here. Davita Jane, do you have a channel?
Yes, I have a channel called the Work from Home Queen.
Okay. Definitely,
Mm-hmm.
definitely. Make sure you hit me up with your information in the inbox so I can place it in the description of this video. Uh 111 says, hey, Davita Jane. For adult audiences only, must be 18 plus to hang at the Butterfly Lounge. Welcome to Queen City, the Butterfly Lounge. Please subscribe, share, and like. Thank you for your support. All
I
right.
share and I
You did.
share your live with Marcella in Instagram. So hopefully she'll come over.
She is. Speak with your girl Marcella. She's actually a content creator here as well. She says, "Hey, Queen Tulsa and Davita, passing by to say hi. Listen here, hello to you, and you all go over and check out Miss Marcella's channel. If you all watch Love and Marriage Huntsville, one of the stars, the super celebrity stars, Miss Kiki Jabbar, went to glory, and Marcella shared a statement from the family. If you want to go over and check that out." We have Maria Cintron
Yeah.
says, hey, fam, I'm working in the bushes. All right, we are so glad to have you here. Now, listen here. We are here for a particular reason today, and that reason is to discuss kind of what's been going on in these YouTube streets. Um, it's heavy. Hey, you happy today? Absolutely, I am happy. I am happy. I have every reason to be happy. 111 says, speak with your girl Marcella. Hey, how you doing? Now, listen here, we are going to get up in the topic. So, yesterday, I believe it was a live stream that was going on, and there were content creators by the name of Kimmy. We have Cat Medusa. We had Sip up there, and we had Evangelist Val and some more more creators up there. But I want to say this, just seeing all this unfold, This is all surrounding Jaguar Wright. Do you feel like Jaguar Wright was very honest and truthful when she were no longer friends with these individuals and started speaking her truth?
Yes,
Okay.
I do feel. See, when all this was, when they was all caping for Jag, everything seemed fine. Night and day in them, they was all cool with one another. Cause I went to the Love and Marriage Huntsville sector, but when I come back a few months ago, I'm seeing they all part ways, and I'm very shocked, especially Evangelist Val, because she was always praying for Jag. But I guess Jag had to see things for what she needed to see it for and realize that they're not who they say they were in her eyes, you know?
Yeah. Now let me ask you this, because when we talk about Jaguar and her relationships with these people, Kimmy, portrayed to be so nice and so she was like down to earth. Do you feel like she showed that any of her time with Jag, after Jag, present and past?
Doing Jag. Because now she's calling her every name in the book, except for a child of God. And I'm just like, wow, where did this all change from? Why? So it can't be just money. It got to be something else.
Yeah, let me ask you this. Do you feel like any of the people that were around her and trying to support her, do you feel like they were set to become her handlers or get into a space with her of trust so she can be vulnerable and taken out?
All of the above. Yes.
Okay, because I'm feeling the same way as well, because when we think about, sisterhood, right? And we may not always agree to Vita, right? But I feel like there's a way to handle certain situations. Um, and I feel like I'm so tired of these grown people coming online and lying. Because
Hmm.
said she didn't know anything about YouTube. She was new to it. She didn't want anything to do with it. She didn't want no channels, but now she has 3 channels. Then she comes out and expressed that she was around Toxic Diamonds whenever she was online and she was in that mix. And to see a full circle moment of her lies coming back to bite her in her butt, what are your thoughts about that?
The chicken has come home to roost because what you put out there, regardless if it's good or bad, it will come back to bite you and things could be exposed. So I no longer watch her recently after those interviews with BB Films and all that. I just it's hard for me to be subscribed to someone where it was all about Jaguar. It was all about Jaguar with them, and now it's F Jaguar this and F Jaguar that. So were you really her friend, or it was all just for clout, clicks and views and payola and stuff? What was their true intentions? It must not have been pure because I see they all are getting along because they dislike this one individual, but they're soon gonna not get along either. That it doesn't work well like that when enemies of an enemy come together. It doesn't work well because they're gonna end up falling out as well.
You know what? You make so many great points right there. And I say this, it it's all fallen down. It is all fallen down because first and foremost, the reason why they had come together was on a black woman's back on her behalf. And, you know, I guess they thought that if they connected themselves with her, that their numbers would skyrocket and they wouldn't have to buy bots or subscribers. And that didn't happen. And I think that they kind of went off of the deep end when they tried to become the celebrity, when they decided to become the talent. And speaking of BB Films, a lot of people had counted Jaguar Wright out. However, she did have an opportunity. And she did go down there and, create work. But see, when you have a lot of chiefs and not enough Indians,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't work out because everybody's fighting for that top spot. Everybody wants to be seen. Everybody wants to say, "Oh, I'm associated," because they feel like there's clout.
Very much so, Cloud. And their numbers are not like they used to be when it was all about Jag. You notice that their numbers are not the same. They're
Hmm.
not they're not pulling in those numbers like they used to. So now they think they'll make more money and get more payola by going against her. And I'm just shocked at it. So I'm looking at certain people sideways, especially the NND guys. Because if it wasn't for Miss Jaguar Wright, I and several thousands of other people would never knew about those two guys allegedly out of Philadelphia. And now we're realizing that they are manipulators and they use Jag for a whole lot of things. Now they're using her on the negative side. Like, come on.
Yes. Empress Queen says they are all clout chasers and followers. If you fall out with someone, you part ways with respect if it was real. She said friendships were all fake, even with OG Patrice.
Oh, yes, 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 yes. I'm going to give it to you and Ayaya. What's her name? Ashaya.
I, I,
Y'all been the main two that stand 10 toes down through all of this mess. Y'all been the main two standing 10 toes down.
mm-hmm.
Those other ones fell back, didn't they? But
Yeah,
I gotta give it to you and her because y'all the main two that's standing 10 toes down with her, and I salute to y'all two queens for real, for real. Because
thank
Jaguar needs real people around her, not fake and phony people that's trying to eat off her, like someone that was married to her and claim he can't send her the paperwork for divorce. Come on, dude. See,
listen.
Jag is a strong woman. God has blessed Jag. Look how she's able to still do what she can.
Mhm.
God is looking out for her, hun. They could dislike and hate, and I'm giving respect to even King World because he's taking a stand. He sees what's going on behind the scenes now. You see,
Yeah.
I'm liking what
And
he's
you know what?
doing.
And just to touch on that real quick, um, yesterday we were both over there on the panel, and for any calls like this, we're gonna be there with bells ringing and all that, right?
Hmm.
What I didn't like was the back chat and this young lady named Nikki Blaine. She kept like coming for me and just being so negative in the back chat. And respectfully, I felt like I was respectful the whole way up, and even through the live. If I cut someone off, I said I'm sorry and I'm not trying to overstep. And there's one time where he said, no, you're not overstepping. You just being you, and what you're saying is relevant to what's going on. And what was going on in the back chat was this lady, she decided to, just start talking crazy to me. And I just told her to leave me alone. And, it got to a point where I'm just like, okay, well, I don't want to be going back and forth on these people's channel. And I reached out for King World. I don't think he was there. His other person had come up and he decided to try to check me and put me in my place of defending myself. And I'm just like, I didn't come here for that. Um, and that was not my energy. Can you just verify that my energy was positive and I wasn't back there.
Right.
Um, I didn't
You
start any.
you didn't start anything. You was there standing on truth and business for Jaguar and the fact that those two individuals, those avatar cartoon individuals, has been manipulating Jag for a very long time. And it took someone like King World to point it out. And you stood your ground and you was respectful the whole time.
Absolutely. And listen here, we may not agree with what everyone does, but it's for the cause at hand. It's for the cause at hand. I can set my differences aside. I can set my feelings, my emotions aside when we are here, because actually I encourage those women to go to the hospital.
Yeah, you did.
I kept pressing it. I kept pressing it. I kept pressing it. Go to the hospital. If you are saying this is going on, we need to, because I care, you know? I don't have to know you for you to say, hey, I'm in danger, or there's something going on for me to say, hey, sis, let me give you this advice. Go get you some help. How
Hmm.
much did it cost me?
Nothing.
It cost me nothing. It was
Right.
free.
That's right. You gave free info and you were supportive the whole night. That's what encouraged me to get up on there when I see you on there because I love what you were saying.
But like I
Because
said,
because you
whenever it's the calls, we come out the bushes. Because I
yes,
sat and I watched for a minute. Because I that's what we do. We sit, we watch. If something strikes out to us, then we're gonna move into action. Am I right or wrong?
right. Absolutely. We got to stand on what's right here. And I respected him for pointing this out about these two individuals because it was what 2021, 2022 when I became aware of those guys because of Jaguar. She the one helped them get, I think at the time, either half a mil subscribers or a quarter of a mil subscribers with the
Mhm.
original channel. But what I've been thinking, I believe she was giving intel about them because nobody's not gonna lie and say that you know, like you're a R. Kelly or something. Come on now. Ain't nobody gonna lie unless there's paperwork showing. And then when you think about, well, how can these two individuals able to sell thousands and thousands and thousands of products without showing who they is? It's very skeptical,
Absolutely. 111 says not all adults know how to have an adult conversation.
right?
I
That is
agree.
true. I agree now.
Empress Queen says any man talking about a woman's hygiene and encounters post breakup is disgusting. Goomba and Sip go on panels discussing private, intimate matters. They are not men. Let's keep this right here. What
Yes.
I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you go off first.
But where is all this energy at, nigga? When you was in my shit, nigga. When you was sucking on me, nigga. When you was between my legs, nigga. Don't give me that bull. Everybody trying to do things for clicks and views. Now they want to say, well, why wasn't this said when she was in your presence then? And why are you gonna shame her now after you done got what you got from her? That's what I don't like about certain black men. They use us on all levels and then disrespect us. And then it's so hurtful when you disrespect us to total strangers and hundreds of people that's in the chat viewing the live. Like, I dare you. Like, and for him, for the ex soon to be ex-husband, dude mad because his slip is showing right now. There's stuff being brought up from what he did months ago, admitting that he admitted to trying to set her up. His slip is showing. So what I think they're doing this so they don't get exposed. That's what narcissists and manipulators do. They'll go and pull things out on you so they won't get exposed. Like the whole Melody and Martell situation, the same situation.
Right. You know, and listen, things this is my thing. If you okay, let me take this back. Let me take a deep breather, because I'm starting to get worked up, because my thing is these people allegedly have heard things about Jaguar. She had this, she had that, but then they get with her. After, you was there when her husband, after she got arrested at that parking lot, and her husband decided to team up with Nikki, and
Right.
he moving on in with her, and then he end up paying her rent money, and she end up kicking him out because everything that Jaguar had told her and everybody else on this internet about that man eventually came true.
Absolutely.
It come to pass.
Karma is real. And what he
Period.
is real, good or bad. And he especially is going to get, basically going to get dealt with because of what he did to Jag. I feel in my spirit that he partnered with NAD behind the scenes that was against her to give her different things that he probably didn't let her know of and probably slipped things in her food or drinks. I think Miss
Pause.
Francis, may she rest in peace, I
Pause.
think he tried to do something to her too. I think so, in my
Pause,
opinion.
sis. Listen, Jaguar has told me and countless of others that Gerald allegedly tried to take her out.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't even say allegedly, but she told me and others that he tried to take her out with concoctions
Mm-hmm.
and her medications. I don't know if people remember these things, but if y'all listen, see that's the problem. People they don't listen. And I don't care what their relationship is. When they departed, it was no reason for nobody to go around and start making up malicious lies. Oh, she stink. Oh, she this. Oh, she that. But you spent a great amount of time around her.
Exactly. I don't. That's why I got to make sure if I'm getting involved with a guy that his intentions are pure because I can't have you doing that when were in the thick of it. You were never for me in the first place, is what you're telling me. You were never for me. You never seen it for us. So all
Mhm.
you did was wasted my precious good time that I cannot get back because time is precious and once it's gone, it's gone. So you wasted her time and years with you when you couldn't even provide a home for her. Like you can't even be a provider, dude. Texas rent is expensive the same amount of his check from the military, the rent, the one bedroom apartment costs that much. So what he gonna do? Try to use another black woman. That's a lot of these men do. They always using black women, and I think that if Jawad didn't get involved with him and got involved with some real people like who she's with real
Now,
life streets with
Odell,
real life, yeah, like real life
mhm,
street stars. I do feel now if she could stay focused on her brand and really knock it out the box and make things happen and make this thing happen for her, that's what I want to see. She's she needs to ignore NND and the rest of them clowns, ignore them because they won't never for her. They won't never her friends. They use what they got from her. And that's just how it is with people. They were really wolves in sheep's clothing, if you really want to be honest, including the husband.
well, listen here. Let's talk about it. When she had expressed and she had given us insight on the industry, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is this is the treatment. When it comes to men, they have this bro code and they give them the utmost respect. But when it comes to a black woman, they wouldn't do that shit to a white woman.
No,
Let's talk. They
especially
would.
no, because they'll get thrown. You see what happened to that actor,
Jonathan Majors, look at
right?
him.
Megan Good had to come out the woods to try to save him, but him
And
messing
she's
with
a what? And she's a what? She's a who? She's a sister?
correct, but
Coming
they
to whose defense?
a black man's
Okay.
defense. But look, he was sipping champagne with and dealing with. It won't her, was it? And look how he did that white woman he was with. But the judge made sure he was found guilty, honey. And that's they'll throw it at him when you dealing with their kind. They don't play. They don't play at all. When you messing with their folks, they don't play.
Absolutely. 111 says the Messies don't want to hear a real message. They don't.
Ex- exactly, exactly. Now, see, I feel there's gonna be some plotting going on after that long live King World did, and Jag got on there and said the stuff she said. There's gonna be some stuff working out because the girl in this title, Kimmy, I believe her video was talking about King World.
Mm.
I think, because she said cowards in the title. And see,
Well,
she
listen
came
here.
on. She came on King World's live, and King World kicked her off.
Yo, guess what? So I did my due diligence by letting them know, hey, I actually messaged Kat and I was like, I saw you live last night and I'm gonna review it. And I texted her, I gave her the due diligence. That's guess what she did? She privated the video. Then she called Kimmy and end up having Kimmy private her videos, but they're watching.
Yeah.
But as they were watching, I did clip up some of the notes or whatever. Well, the messages. Someone says, I noticed your demeanor towards OG from the get go. Why did you have her on your panel if you didn't care for her? It's fake behavior. Someone else says, Kimmy, did you just listen to that portion of the interview for yourself? OGP never said you needed her for your channel. She was asked what happened between y'all, and she talked about when you said you never liked her. Then you apologized. She thought everything was cool, but you went live the next day and said some things about her, so she decided to not come to the panel. Let me see if I got another screenshot. Let's see. Come on, the piano. It was very obvious you didn't care for her, but you say you don't like fake stuff, but you actually were being fake by having her up there, knowing you really didn't like her. She wasn't wrong for choosing to stay away. That's not acting funny. You don't like her, so what was she supposed to do? Um, and like I said, when I told them I was gonna review it, then they took it down.
Now let me ask you: what was the reason behind them going against Jag? Because it seemed like they're following somebody instead of thinking for themselves. They want to join in and gang in with the Jag hate train, and it's just so elementary to me. We all have our own mind. I see it for what it is. She was she was being used to help these YouTubers channels grow. I don't care what nobody says. Not and they really benefited heavily,
Hmm.
heavy, heavy, heavy benefited off her. They're the main ones that benefited from her. If we could, if that old channel was up, I could show so much. I remember 2021, 2022, 2023.
Hmm.
But again, KBLA must have found something behind them to cut their channel down. I don't know why. But
But
I'm
listen,
getting
but peep this out. Once a channel goes down, you're not supposed to, you supposed to be off of there, right?
right.
They're back.
I know, and they got 50K subscribers within 3 months. That make that make sense now.
Listen
So what?
here.
And see, I never thought that they will ever get exposed like they've been exposed, because I know they're just not true business people, because their business practices, it's all about getting a bag. You got two types of business owners. You got some, they'll go get their LLC and they'll create these faceless YouTube channels because that's what they're considered, a faceless YouTube channel, and manipulate. Then you got business owners that they're going to show real customers. They're going to show you about, like Stormy Steele. You see how she's showing you her face of her camera's beauty, how she's providing things, how she's on TikTok, going to TikTok and stuff. That's what you call a real business when you're selling product. But what they're doing is totally opposite from Stormy. I'm just saying.
Wow. You know what? It really it really hurts my heart because I am so tired of being fooled by people and especially our own people in our community, and
Mhm.
they're acting like they are here for us and they trying to help us. But you know what majority of these people say? They picked up that I'm real and I'm actually real. I don't have to explain it as much as Kimmy do. My actions show, my actions prove it. My actions can back it up. But my thing is,
Absolutely.
I'm so tired of being hurt in our community, and we have to take a stand. We have to take a stand and call these people out, and we can do it effectively. We don't have to curse them out. We don't have to do any of that. Calling them to the carpet. They want everybody else to come on a panel and hit that link. Well, now we're asking that you all come out and show who you are. If you're real business owners, if you are legit the way that you say that you are, I mean, what's the big deal? We come on, we show our faces. Sometimes we're behind our avatar, but it's not our that's not how we do. 111 says he's still trying to get his swagger back. Making is not enough.
Mm-mm.
Allegedly. They want to eat off of Jag, but don't want to give her a piece of bread from their loaf.
Talk about it. Facts. Facts.
Serious.
Facts on facts on facts. And it's just funny to me how things just change all of a sudden. I think it's deeper than what they're saying why they didn't like her no more. The NND, the sunset and the sunrise. It's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. I think that because she already knew that they owe stuff at the IRS. Now what's that about? I think it's deeper than some saying they're K Slay and they're Redman and K Solo. Is you really gonna beef with her because of that? It must be true. Then if you mad at that, why haven't you proved that you're not a pedo? Allegedly, you never did that. You just keep throwing rocks at Jag, this, that, and the third. But what about what you're doing? Again, this is the same thing that narcissists and manipulators do. They want to get it you off them so you won't go research them and throw over there and stay focused on Jag. There's a reason why it's like that.
But
It's
listen,
about
why did they have her on their panel expressing and telling things about the industry? Why did they have her over there? Because they were trying to get partial info so they can feed it back to Diddy. But guess what? Diddy is going down. Diddy is
absolutely,
going down. Diddy is going down.
absolutely. It was time.
Whether if y'all like it or not,
And they're still
going down.
working on it. They just because he settled with her, they still are interviewing Cassie and people that was around those freak off parties when they were together. But see, this is what Kim Porter was wanting to do but could not do. So
Speak on it.
I have to be happy for what's happening now where people are coming out. You gotten away with so much. I've been side-eyeing him when stuff came out years ago about Tupac, when those white dudes, RJ Bond and those other guys on YouTube were talking about Tupac's death and how I found out that when Tupac died, when Diddy got the phone call, he was elated. When Reverend Jesse Jackson contacted Diddy when they decided to unplug on Tupac Shakur in 1996, he was elated and happy. I come to find out that because Diddy used Kim did a lot of things she didn't want to do being with Diddy. She had to be quiet and see Diddy thinks that every woman could be like Kim Porter and just keep her mouth shut. But what I found out when I was a member of Casino for Life Patreon, now there's some deep stuff over there about Diddy in his Patreon. And what I could see, what I found out when he was still dealing with Kim prior to her death. He moved her out there in Cali. She didn't want to go out there. She was communicating with Albie Shore. She didn't feel right about being out there. Well, did a lot of people don't know that Cassie was demanding Diddy to be a family with her. Because this was during the time Cassie was still wanting to be with him, even though he was beating to her. She still wanted to work it out with Diddy. So a lot of people feel that, because you know how a side chick is with a married man and demanding the married man to leave the wife, that type of situation. And people are thinking that um he had something to do with it, so him and Cassie could be together. But Cassie ended up getting dumped because he never is going to be a faithful man to nobody. See, Kim held a lot of secrets, but now, because of Cassie and that whole paperwork trail that she gave to the feds, it's over for him. And Network Party out in Houston is trying to get the LAPD to reopen the case. Now, I have seen that recently. But the chicken has come home to roost for Diddy because he done so much dirt. He done so much things that he could get away with it. He thought what he did to Biggie and used Biggie. Yeah, I said it. He used him. He used all his artists. He was never supposed to be a rapper. And he paid a lot off because Gene, I do believe the things that Gene Deal said. I remember Gene Deal saying that during the 90s, he paid off FBI and people that worked in Homeland Security, people that worked in police departments. That's why he was so untouchable the way he was for 30 plus years. But what he don't know is that they're asking about him when his years was at University of Howard University, which is a HBCU. They removed his doctorate um situation. He doesn't have the doctorate anymore. The honorary doctorate that he got from Howard, they took that away. I'm hearing now that the lawyer has backed off him. So he just might as well just face the music. You just can't get away thinking you could do people the way you've been doing them. There's people that lost their lives dealing with you. I think it's more than what they're saying. There's so much that some people are too ashamed to say. But I know a lot of stuff because I used to watch a lot of things in the early 2010s era when YouTube was really pushing out, before it started shadow banning, when they was really dudes out here showing receipts on stuff before all that mess YouTube was doing. It was so much. And there was this white guy that I used to follow out of this white guy from Detroit. He was a Tupac fan. That's how I learned a lot. Then other things started coming out. Then in 2018, Big Gene Deal came out. But before Gene Deal came out, there was stuff I already had found out. I've been known about his being a bisexual man, you know. I've been known about how he did Kim Porter for years. See, I remember when Kim was pregnant and he dogged her out and went with Jennifer Lopez. I just came out of high school and I said to myself, the black community should be ashamed of him, how he did Kim Porter and brought that Latino singer in their community. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? Because I just graduated high school and when him and J Lo, and he dumped Kim Porter to be with J Lo. Yeah, that's when I realized that he didn't care for women. His other baby mom, he got a baby by Sarah because Sarah was in the How Do You Want It video with Tupac Shakur. His first baby mom, Misa, she was dealing with Suge Knight. So there's a lot of the hatred is deep, but with things. And that night that Biggie was taken, I've been aware that that was for Diddy, like before Gene Deal came out with that. I remember when I was like 16, when they would talk about the Diddy parties in Hampton, and back then he would do the white parties with and have white celebrities like Martha Stewart, because back then Martha Stewart was on TV and everything. She was killing the game. But you can't get away with doing things for so long. And I knew one day it was going to come, but when I was shocked it was Cassie, you know. I was
Hmm.
shocked it was Cassie, but I really would love to hear Mary J. Blige because she dealt with him. We got to talk about early 90s, late 80s with the dealings of him because she had dealings with him too. And Jaguar knows a lot because she has connections to Uptown MCA. Another girl I think should speak up is Ebony Foster. She was a part of the group Nothing Nice. Remember Froggy Style and all that. Well, she's related to Tamika Foster that was married to Usher. But what I watched the interview with her. She's the girl that sings on certain hooks on Tupac's albums, All Eyes on Me and Me Against the World. And she from Sacramento. And when she departed from that group, Nothing Nice, she signed to Uptown MCA. So I know she knows Diddy. Because she came out with her album in 97 and Diddy was still dealing with Andre Harrell, even though he started Bad Boy in 95. Because see, growing up, we didn't have cable TV. We had the radio and Word Up magazines and Source magazines and stuff was heavy like that. So I would read a lot of hip hop and business magazines. And Diddy, they gave him that title and everything. They gave him that title. And he was able to come through here unscathed for so many years, but at the price of other people's lives and stuff. The blood sacrifices is real when it come to him. And a lot of people don't know that his cousin was on the BMF when Big Meech was out here with Black Mafia family out of Detroit. They had dealings with each other too. That bodyguard being killed was Diddy's bodyguard, and Diddy owed him money, and Diddy didn't give him his money. Wolf, named Wolf, his bodyguard Wolf. There's a lot that he's attached to, stuff that I know for years, and my dislike came from him after how he did Kim Porter with J Lo, and how Shine, that sounded like Biggie, had to go do 10 years for him.
You know what? I don't even feel bad for Shine because Shine, he's lowbrow as well. And he did that and look at where he's at now. You got to give something. I mean, you got to sacrifice something to get something, right? So he sacrificed his time. Maybe he got that little petty little money, but look where he is now in office running a country,
And
you know?
he called out Diddy. He said he's against abuse. I watched his stuff on IG. I said, how funny how the tables turn.
His dirty laundry is already aired out from that lady, Miss Natina, from that nightclub that night.
Yes.
Knows. And she said, no, Sean is just as guilty. You know what I'm saying? That was
Mm.
wrong. That was a sister. And guess who they protected? Who did they protect?
Mr. Diddy himself.
And not only that, and guess no, they all protected J Lo as well.
Right, because
Because
Luke,
guess what?
because yeah, I remember that.
She was gonna go and tell it all. Y'all bet listen. Uh,
I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked that what's going on with him. I think that Diddy needs to get on his knees for real, and turn back from his wicked ways and needs God right now because he walked around here like he was God himself. And I think that the Illuminati is teaching him a lesson. See, if he never went at those liquor beverage companies that was paying him millions of dollars, where he can
mhm.
afford to buy those mansions in Miami and Los Angeles and Cali and things, maybe he should have just shut his mouth. Maybe he should never try to go at that alcohol beverage corporation. Since he went after them, this was last April of 2023 when that was put out there. And see, April to September is 5 months, and that's when that thing with Castor came out. I think that there's players behind the scenes because they're teaching him a lesson. So we're letting out all your stuff because when the Illuminati, people got to pay attention too. Why did MTV in 2023 in September? Why did MTV give him uh, um let him do his performance of his best songs and how he was all in red performing? And I said to myself, this man is dancing his heart out like it's in the 1990s. Something is going on. Now
Yeah.
that was in September. A few weeks after that, Mayor Adams gave him the key to the city of New York. So when he did that lawsuit with that call company, that was like in April. He performed at MTV all in red, performing his best hits, dancing his heart out like he was 20 years old or something. Then
Well,
November
well,
comes
speaking of,
around, and here this thing with Cassie's lawsuit is just some things. If we could just put points and things like that, it's a lot
uh-huh.
going on there.
Yeah. I totally agree. And guess what? Diddy is being sued again.
Mm-hmm.
And Sean Diddy Combs' ex-girlfriend breaks silence on hotel surveillance video amid new lawsuit. Trigger warning, everyone. Trigger warning. Diddy sued by former corn star for alleged trafficking through calculated grooming scheme. Lawsuit. Sean Diddy Combs allegedly groomed former corn star as a white party employee. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's get into it. Let's play the audio. Whenever it decides to play. Okay, so while we wait on this to load up,
Crunchers alert on this. More trouble for Sean Diddy Combs. The music mogul faces a new lawsuit by former model Crystal McKinney, claiming he drugged and sexually abused her at an event in 2003. Now, Diddy's ex-girlfriend is breaking her silence over a graphic video that shows him assaulting her at a hotel in 2016. CB Cotton following all of the details. What do you know?
Hi, good morning. Well, Combs and Cassie Ventura were in a decade-long relationship, and she's breaking her silence this morning and asking people to believe victims the first time. The singer taking to Instagram to write in part, "I offer my hand to those that are still living in fear." Over the weekend, CNN exclusively obtained video showing Combs beating Ventura in a Los Angeles hotel hallway back in 2016. Last fall, Ventura filed a federal lawsuit accusing Combs of years of rape and abuse. A day later, the couple settled for an undisclosed sum. Combs released this apology for the explosive video on Sunday.
But I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video.
Ventura's message on domestic violence comes as another lawsuit was filed this week in Manhattan federal court. Former model Crystal McKinney claims she had dinner with Combs in 2003 and later on the same night was attacked in his recording studio after being pressured by him to smoke and drink. McKinney says once she was intoxicated, Combs forced her to perform a sex act. She says she then lost consciousness before waking up in the back of a cab. This lawsuit is the latest in a string of others accusing Combs of sexual abuse. He has previously denied any wrongdoing, but now some New York City Council members say Combs' key to the city should be yanked. Mayor Eric Adams says there's a panel working on recommendations.
We've never removed the key from anyone before. We want to make sure we do it right because now we're going to set precedent. And we want to make sure we're going to do it right.
And Combs has not responded to our request for comment on this latest lawsuit.
Okay, thank you for keeping up on the details for us, CB.
all right.
I remember that when that came out. But there's something else happened because I seen it where the lawyers are no longer being his lawyer.
Yeah, they pull back. Lady Gaga, some are saying, No, it wasn't about her. But listen here, they are bringing. Listen here, Lady Gaga is bringing in money. Diddy, his money is on stop. He's not bringing in any money. So you're now a liability. You're not an asset anymore. You know.
Right. But see, it ain't over with because that Sean Carter that I used to adore and buy all his records, he's a pedophile too.
Listen here, and he's secretly selling the mansion.
Yeah.
He's secretly trying to do this quietly, but no, we need to make some noise about it. He's selling the mansion, money problems, lawsuits.
Now who's this girl about?
Now, she alleges that, in order for her to get her job, she had to let allegedly Mr. Combs bop him up.
Well, see, this is what people fail to realize, and this is some real hard truths. When I was watching something on Casino for Life Patreon, he showed actually how this. I've been aware of the sex trafficking rings.
Uh huh.
They're in our faces, even in small suburban communities where the soccer mom.
Yeah.
This is bigger than Diddy when it comes to that sex trafficking. And you see that white family got exposed, getting arrested for having black kids and human trafficking them, slaving them.
Yes.
All right, it's the same thing, but some are so tight-lipped. So you have to be careful when you see those white vans with black windows, because I see them. They be hunting, they be looking for runaway kids. Yeah, the stuff is real. It's real. Sex trafficking is real, and you got to understand too, certain states has approved men to sleep with 16-year-olds without being arrested, like California. You got to look at all of that. Why is that? It's been like that for years. When I was young like that, I've been harassing things by older men when I was a teen. Yeah. And I thank God I survived that era. It was rough, but Jeff Epstein, he was doing this stuff under people's noses for years. And see, I got to say this too. I'm gonna say this too, that people don't want to admit. A lot of women in their 40s, like me, when we were teens and stuff like that, a lot of us, that Aaliyah, when Aaliyah came out with Age But Ain't Nothing But a Number and those other songs came out, it influenced us to go with older guys. Like
You
if
did.
we're if we're 15, we want to give it 18, 19, and 20-year-olds. If we're 16, we're more attracted to 19 and 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
But no one's faulting that. It's We got to understand. You don't think those mothers of those women that was with R. Kelly had pumped their children to go and run game on that? Come on. Our parents sometimes is our pimps before we get a regular job. You got some parents like that will groom their children to use for money for sex. It's like that, unfortunately. So we can't put the blame on all celebrities because you got parents that plays a part in this. Like I said, those soccer moms, you thinking they got it made, and they live in those 4 and 5 bedroom houses in those nice neighborhoods. They be the main ones that be doing it. That be doing the kidnapping and the trafficking, selling girls, and they be handlers. And they love it when a new girl move in town, child. They love it that they'll befriend the girl and they all be setting things up and act like a boy into them, and they meet them at the mall, and before you know it, they go somewhere in the mall where it's easy access to kidnap, and they put that stuff on your face so you can faint.
Yeah.
That stuff is real. That stuff is real. So I'm not going to put the blame all on celebrities. These parents, they all in it. The elites, that Pizzagate situation scandal that Alex Jones was putting out there back in the day during Barack Obama's presidency is real too.
Yeah, it is.
The girl that played on the scary movie where her face turned around. Do you know what I'm talking about? That white girl, the what's the name of it? She was rising up from the bed. It's something with getting a evil spirit removed out you. I can't think of the name of it, but she came out years later saying how Hillary Clinton, raped her.
Oh, no. We got to say grape.
I'm sorry, grape. I'm sorry, grape. I'm a survivor of that, guys. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor, and I thank God that He saved me from that because I could have called the house in Virginia and other things, and God protected me from that. Yeah, I had to get tested and things like that and get my blood drawn and stuff for like 3 months straight after that situation. But he ended up doing 20 years. But what's sad is that recently when he came out, he was near a playground and people knew that he was on that list and he ended up getting arrested being around the playground.
Oh, it's the Exorcist movie, sis.
Yes, the Exorcist
Maria
movie.
said, okay. Maria's with you. She's in the bushes. Okay, okay, okay.
But some of us are survivors. We're all survivors of being violated.
Yeah.
And and being a teen, it was hard. It was very, very hard. And the 90s was rough for us if you was a teen. It was rough. And those songs came out influencing us to do things we shouldn't been doing. So you got some parents. It's just like when my grandmother was growing up and she used to tell me how when you're a girl and your dad's in the house and stuff like that, back in her time, they will make a deal with a family and the family will pay the daddy for the daughter to get married to their son. And that happened to my grandmother. My grandmother was like 14 when she got married. And they
Mm.
still do that in Africa right now. I think they still do that in Africa right now, where you got to have your stuff together to marry one of them African women over there. Your family got to have money, got to have a lot of assets. And see, I'm glad we have freedom over here that we can marry who we want to marry, right? But when my grandmother days, sometimes the dad will sell off their daughter to be married so they don't have to be responsible for their daughter, like the Color Purple situation. Remember the movie Color Purple?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's the same situation. So sometimes the people we grew up with could be the enemies to us. Is sometimes it's not so loving in a household. Sometimes that parent, that mom or dad will pimp you and groom you. It's the same situation like what my grandmother went through. It's a
Yeah.
sad thing. And you see, before that whole situation happened, he had over 20 million followers on IG. Now he's dropped. But see,
Absolutely.
I'm gonna tell you, the three women that's not gonna go against him is those women from the 90s and his first baby mom, Misa, Mary J. Blige, and Little Kim. They're not gonna do it, even though they hold a lot. They know a lot. They know where the bones are buried, but they're not gonna do it. Mm-mm.
And but my thing is like we want to hold, and I had to pull back. Um, I had to pull back a little bit, and I don't know. I'm all over the place.
Uh huh.
I'm just all over the place with this whole situation.
Yes. Whenever I seen what he did to Cassie, I was hurt because that's what I see in the hood all the time. I see that in the hood all the time with baby moms and baby dads. Yeah, I've seen that. And for him to have so much wealth, he scooped to that level of hood, I'm just disgusted. I was disgusted by it. And I said then that he's done. Before this year is out, I believe there will be a press conference pressing charges on him, point blank period. I see that before this year is over. I do see that. I see it happen. And see, you got to people better look too. Kippy D got bailed out of jail.
Listen, listen. When I tell you it, and I'm trying to keep my feelings and my emotions intact. And thank you for balancing me out up here because I'm like all in my feelings because that night that it happened, they sat there and then they watched. Keefe D them sat there and watched the ambulance, the police roll up.
Hmm.
Let's talk about it. You
I'm
you know
hurt. I'm hurt because Tupac didn't deserve it. And I don't care what nobody says. They've been after Tupac since he came out of Afeni Shakur's body because of her Black Panther tights.
Mhm.
His Black Panther tights. And there's a book that this dude I follow on YouTube, that was the first YouTube that really went in and shared things about Tupac and all of this stuff. There's a book out there on Amazon about how the FBI and J. Edgar Hoover and them was trying to get at black leaders. So I think that Keefe D and them were patsies, but I believe that the order was brought on by the government and the feds because people need to go back and know that prior to him getting done like that, there was things finna be in place. They was gonna create a Death Row East with Eric B, part of Eric B and Rakim and Suge and Tupac and them. They was gonna have a Death Row East, a Death Row East, and that was a threat to Diddy. So I think there was meetings had behind the scenes because that was a threat if Suge Knight and them come to New York with Death Row East.
Are
People
on the
didn't and people didn't know about the Machiavelli records that Tupac was doing. Tupac was trying to amend beef with East Coast rappers prior to his death. So it hurts me to this day because he died unjustly. He has so much to give to this world and was taken from us, period. He was taken from us. But see, if people look at the back of Machiavelli's original back CD cover, his album right before Machiavelli on Death Row, they shows Diddy and Biggie and Dr. Dre on the back of that in cartoon designs. And people need to put two and two together. Why did Tupac put that there?
Good. I'm glad you said let's two and two together. So listen here, I'm about to bring up something and let's see if we can put two and two together on this. Here we go.
yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't
And
know.
you also recorded a poem for the exhibition,
Let's
which
see.
apparently it just repeats.
I worked with
So this is a tunnel where Diddy was. He's
Mm-hmm.
walking down this tunnel. What does that? I'm gonna play it one more time, and you just let me know. Okay, you're riding in the car, and boom, you're here.
I
What you
worked with
doing?
her on the shoot as well.
Okay.
So yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't
And
know.
you also recorded a poem for the exhibition,
Let's
which
see.
apparently it just repeats.
Yes, he has a tunnel in that mansion that came there already. But I found that strange, and it looked like before he got that was a slave master's mansion, and those names were slaves. My opinion.
Now listen here. Concentration camp.
Yes, concentration camps are real. Yep. If we go back to 2012,
This was
I
on
worked with
his
her on the shoot
Instagram.
as well.
Okay.
So yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't
And
know.
you
I
also
deleted
recorded
it.
a poem for the exhibition,
Let's
which
see.
apparently it just repeats.
I worked
This was on his Instagram. Remember, he listen here. Let me take this down. He wiped his Instagram clean.
yeah.
He wiped his Instagram clean.
Mm-hmm.
See? Hey, what's up? Can't nobody take my pride. Can't nobody hold me down. Oh no.
Absolutely.
I don't
And you
know.
Yeah,
also recorded a poem for the exhibition,
Let's
which
see.
apparently it just repeats.
that looks creepy.
It looks creepy and it reminds me of certain lyrics in his songs that he sings.
And it looks like they hold people there. I watched, this reminds me of something I watched about the Scientology. I forgot where I was watching it, but it was showing, it was like a 3 hour thing. And it reminds me of how they had things like that, concentration camps to people that went against Scientology, where they were starved and didn't have no water and was chained. There's a girl on YouTube that I watch, and she be exposing these people that control things out here. And that's where I found it, and I just couldn't believe it. And that right there reminds me of that. And that
Absolutely.
man
I don't
that
And
know.
you
runs,
also
and that,
recorded a poem for the exhibition,
Let's
which
see.
apparently it just repeats.
mm,
I'm sorry.
it's creepy. And the names on there, that means something. But what does it mean though? Why is their names on there like that? That's creepy. Are they
Well,
buried there?
I feel like this is evidence in his case that he
Uh,
has going on, and different people saying that they experience certain things, you know. Um there are too many people that are now, and we got to shout out to Cassie, because every well no, first and foremost we got to shout out to Miss Kim Porter.
mm-hmm.
Miss Kim Porter, this is what the book consisted of, people.
And see, when Hollywood knew the stylist of Kim, because Hollywood knows about Diddy and things too when his early career. So Kim Porter, this is her, this is this is the law of attraction is in her favor because all of his secrets are coming out. You don't think Cassie and her had a conversation?
So
And
those,
Cassie,
listen here, I'm starting to think those are concentration camps names that are on that wall. Listen here. See, I told you I'm over here and my brain is, I'm sorry, but my chemicals in my brain. Let me watch this one more
I
time.
worked with her on the shoot as well.
Okay.
So yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't
And
know.
you also
See,
recorded
there
a
are
poem for the
curtains in the
exhibition,
wall.
which
Let's see.
apparently it just repeats.
What's your,
there's a
did you see?
York. Hmm. Yeah, I seen it. It's creepy. Any more video on this?
No, actually, I was over here in the control room and I found this. So let's go ahead and share this. This is what when I put in the concentration camps, this is what come up.
Uh-huh. Well, you know, Cat Williams did that in 2012, I believe. Exposed about those. It was either 2012 or 2014. He exposed that about what Obama was doing. Yeah, this all ties into depopulation agenda. With the eugenics and all of that. Yep, it's creepy, man.
Man, it's a lot going on in this world. What are they distracting us from?
Well,
Are
there's
we
seven. There's 7 strands of COVID, and there's people that has died. They're trying to create a bird flu combined with COVID that make people more sicker. Their depopulation agenda is on red alert right now. You see, they're making it harder for you to get apartments. It's a lot going on. And if you don't have any skills, it's gonna be hard to survive out here. And that's why we have to put God first and pray, because there's a lot that I'm seeing, and the signs are out there. You see how they're doing recalls on food at the grocery store. Can't buy certain stuff.
Yes.
So again, if you're still growing your food there in Tulsa, you better keep doing it. That's all I'm gonna say. I know you got some watermelons, right? Because these dudes down here selling watermelon. I know you
Yes.
got your
Yes. Cucumbers and all, child. Come on.
stick with it. I'm telling you, because the grocery store is not the place to be. I'm telling you, we're going. It's time to go back to the natural things. God is trying to tell us something. The signs are out there. And see, yes, at the same time, Diddy is gonna get his, but they're putting him out here for a reason, to distract us with the real stuff. That so-called presidential debate was junk. It was foolery, and I never seen nothing so pathetic like that. I don't know what's wrong with America. Want these two, one of these to be the president? Come on, give me a break. So you got to be your own government. You got to be your own government in your home, because relying on them. Mm-mm. And just because the economy is doing bad, don't mean you have to do bad. I learned that
That
a
was a
long time ago. I learned that a long time ago. That's so pretty. I like that.
yeah. I'll put us in the middle.
So
Oh
yeah,
my goodness.
the signs are out there. Now I do think people that's not, they do got these camps out still, because that's what this whole thing's about. And see, they still trying to do this one way everything with religion and one world, all of that stuff. They've been trying to do for some years, and it's a war with what they're doing. And we just got to keep our eyes open for real, and be careful what you get at the grocery store, because I'd rather go to the food. I'd rather go either grow my food or go to those go to a Sprouts or something where they got there, where there's a farmer's market where it's growing on a farm,
Yeah.
not in some lab where they put sprays on apples so they could give that shiny look. No, no.
Yeah, just think about it like this. You know how you see something on TV like a commercial and it looks so, it looks one way, but then when you get it in human form, does that make sense? Like you're
Exactly.
drawn into it because you're expecting it to look that way.
It's just like what happened to that lady buying something, when it says on the advertisements it's this, but when she get it, it don't say that. It says something else. So did we get bamboozled or what? What was the intentions? The intentions was to do a money grab. And I would never tell someone to take powder for detox. From my experience, that seeded watermelon, some people do it for 30 days. I did it for 5 days and lost over 20 pounds. It does go in and remove the bad waste out you. But this so-called stuff in some volcano, I don't think so. I'm going to the real plants that God created, that He allows to grow, whatever yielding seed. I'm not messing with stuff like that, and the manipulation and deceiving is real.
Yeah.
And see, when I think about that, when that happened in '99, he was 30, because he was on top. Because Biggie had died, he got money off the death of Biggie. He came out and had 112 and all them, but that's when the R&B was dying down in that time frame. So he never learned, and he's still the same way now. He just need to go off the grid. That's what I think. He need to go off the grid and try and stop trying to be seen.
Well, he was just water rafting the other day, you know.
Hmm.
He was out there, he was water rafting and like no care in the world.
Now let me ask you this. Young Berg was on was doing an interview. I don't know if it was with Vlad TV or something, but he admitted how he walked in and seen Drea from Basketball Wives giving Diddy top.
Oh, wait a
But
minute.
mhm.
You said what now?
Young
So,
Berg, Young Berg is a light skinned rapper, and he said during his days rapping, he walked in on Drea giving Diddy top.
mm,
But see, another thing too. Now you got some women now. Not all women are victims. Now you got some that they use their body shape and looks to manipulate men. Now you got some like that. Now we can't sugarcoat that. You got some that will use their sex to get to the top. Unfortunately, it's some like that, and some. But see, Diddy and them with power, they don't like them kind of women. They like the shy women, who they can manipulate more. My opinion. Who
who's
doesn't
gonna
want to?
listen?
Right?
You know,
They
who's
don't.
gonna listen? Listen,
Yeah.
they are aggressive, very aggressive.
Right. He can't be with a woman that have a mindset like a Nicki Minaj. He can't.
Oh yeah, that's the name of his album, sis. Off the Grid, the Love album, Off the Grid. That's
Mm-hmm.
the name.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but get into
Ooh.
this. Can you read that or no?
Say no to KFC chicken if you're pregnant. This product of chicken contains added monosodium glutamate, not recommended for infants below 12 months and pregnant women, because that could cause some type of birth defect. Just leave them alone, period. He the one stole from a black woman. Let's talk about it.
Hmm.
KFC, his success, he stole the recipe from Miss Childs, a black woman.
Sure did. But
And they
back in the day, they could do that. I mean, that's just ripping the power away. But one thing about it is you can't take it out of the brain. Once you know something, you know it for life.
absolutely. So
But
I don't go to them any. I can't eat their food. Mm-mm. No, I can't. Mm-mm.
but this says this product of chicken contains added monosodium
Glutam,
glu-
yeah,
glutamate,
glutamate. Hmm.
not recommended for infants below 12 months and pregnant women. When have you known for this to be on the product for pregnant women? Like I'm so confused because I'm like, when growing up, we didn't have any of these problems.
Well, quality changed, and it was all about quantity. From the time we was growing up, it was all about the quality of it. Me and
Yeah.
my mom, we were talking about Roy Rogers' restaurant when we lived up north and how good it was,
Mm-hmm.
and how we wish it was here because it was never this greasy like KFC is. So the greed of the quantity is what changed, and they didn't care about humans and the effects that it could cause someone's body. So it's same thing with cars. The way cars are being created, it's just they was all about the numbers and selling the most and the greed of it. And they don't want to have no lawsuit, so they have to put that on there. And see,
Absolutely.
another thing too, a lot of chicken be injected with all that bad stuff anyway. I seen a picture of a farm raised beef versus a grocery store bought beef. And what I think is better is the ones that come from the farmer where they grass fed the cow versus what they put in the grocery store where they injected things to give it that high color.
Absolutely.
And see that
We just, oh my God, this is scary.
it is. If you're gonna eat chicken, go to somebody that raise them. Don't go to the grocery store and get it or these restaurants. They even brought up pot pies here, and I have not. I refuse to go eat there. It looks so disgusting. It doesn't look real. It just looks fake to me, and I don't trust it.
So what would you say? So like a meat market, a farmer's market, to, get our meats. We want to be healthy, we want to eat right. But we just want to say just make sure you are reading the ingredients, or, whatever, the whole message. Read the whole message. Don't let them skip you.
Correct. If I start back eating hamburger and stuff like that, I have to go to a where it's grass fed. That's what I will have to do. Cause I don't go to the frozen the food the meat section in the back of the grocery store. I mainly just go to where the water is and where the fruit and leafy greens are. I don't go in the aisles because a lot of that stuff on the shelves is being recalled.
Mm-hmm.
So support a farmer who's raising them and feeding them with grass. Now you can make replacement of meat with certain mushrooms. Now I seen somebody make it look like a T-bone steak, but it was made with a certain mushroom, and it really looked like red meat. But it was made with a mushroom, and it sure enough did. It was a mushroom, so I know that mushrooms could be a replacement for meat. I have made little burgers of my own plant-based burgers with portobello mushrooms and stuff like that.
Great. Well, listen here. Speaking of, a lot going on out here in these streets. Did you hear about this story right here?
No,
Uh, yeah.
this is
So
crazy.
yes, ex Daniel Muir, ex NFL player, arrested after missing son found safe. And TMZ is reporting on it. So it says former NFL player Daniel Muir and his wife were arrested this week after their son, who had been missing, was found safe. According to Indiana State Police, Muir's son, 14-year-old Bryson, was located after a SWAT team raided Muir's home in Indianapolis around 6 a.m. on Wednesday.
Oh my God.
A A silver alert was first issued when Bryson went missing after visiting his grandmother's home in Cleveland, Ohio on June 16th. The grandmother told police Bryson had a black eye and busted lip before his mother, Kristen, picked him up. The Garfield Heights, Ohio Police Department then located Kristen's car, but Bryson was nowhere to be found. ISP believed Bryson to be endangered, and the Cass County Department of Child Services requested an investigation into allegations of domestic battery towards Bryson. ISP said they made contact with Daniel and Kristen, who initially agreed to bring Bryson to meet with them, but backed out of the arrangement, which signaled an unwillingness to cooperate. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Backed out of that arrangement, which signaled an unwillingness to cooperate. Arrest warrants were issued, and when Daniel and Christian failed to show up to a court appearance on Tuesday, the ISP SWAT team executed a raid at their home. They are facing preliminary charges of obstruction of justice, a level 6 felony. So that's the father right there. Oh my goodness. Um, Daniel is also facing a domestic battery charge. This is an active criminal investigation, and as such, there is no further information to release at this time, ISP said, adding Bryson appeared safe and well.
Well, they're gonna put him in a safe place then.
Yeah, they said the grandmother told Fox 59 that She believes Bryson is brainwashed by his parents and the Servant Leaders Foundation's religious group. The Murs also live on a compound owned by Straightway Truth Ministries, a religious team.
Oh my God. He is on YouTube. The leader of that compound. He's on YouTube. He's a YouTuber. Oh
Oh my
my
goodness.
God.
He gave me the information. We need to jump on this case. It
Let me
says
pull
Muir
him up.
went undrafted. Okay, Muir said they say Muir went undrafted in 2007 and was picked up by the Green Bay Packers. He suited up for several teams, including the Colts, where he played for 4 seasons. He recorded 128 tackles, 1.5 sacks, and had one pass deflection during his career. Honey, I'm on. Hold on. He recorded 128 tackles, 1.5 sacks. I need to see him when he's making those tackles. You know what I'm saying? Oh, hold
Let-
on.
I'm, I'm pulling. I'm gonna.
Let's get back to our breaking news right now. So many of you have so many questions. Logansport Police and State Police raid the Logansport compound where the parents of Bryson Muir live. We're told both former Colts player Daniel Muir and the mother of Bryson were in custody and arrested.
Yeah, now facing preliminary charges. We're also told that Bryson has been found and he is okay. We've been following this story for some time now, a couple weeks after police say Bryson went missing on June 16th.
Let's get right out to Eric Graves now on the scene early this morning with all of the details he's been able to gather so far. Eric, where do you want to start?
Angela and Zach, we do have some brand new information from Indiana State Police. We have charges for Daniel Muir and Kristen Muir. As I read these, I'm going to give you a closer look inside this compound. As we've been calling it this morning, we are off Sadler Hill Road here in Logansport. This is what we believe to be the back entrance to this property. Police have been working over on US Highway 24, which is just on the other side of this tree line we're seeing. Back to these charges. We have been told that Daniel Muir has been arrested. One count of obstruction of justice, one
Okay. I'm gonna show you. There was a video a few days ago. The dude that is the cult leader goes by Dowell, Pastor Dowell, and there have been stuff exposed about him before, but he was able to keep it hush. But I'm finna send you something in the back chat. Just 1 second.
All right. Listen here. We are really covering these stories today. You ready to get back into it, Davida?
Yes. Let me go and pull up his. Let me go put up because Pastor Dowell, he has a YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a false prophet, and I looks at his stuff because he's been exposed. He's been exposed, and other people has exposed him. But I'm gonna give you his YouTube channel. Just 1 second. He's a
Okay.
Hebrew Israelite, but he believes in having multiple wives, and he's able to bring people on his camp. He's just like Brother Polite in them. He just do it in a different way.
Oh,
But
wow.
that's his YouTube channel. But I'm gonna show you some other links. I'm finna show you something from other YouTubers said about him.
Okay. So here, let's go ahead and play this clip, and then Davida is going to pull up some more clips that we can review. All right.
who had hit him in that picture we have been showing you since last week of Bryce with a black eye, split lip, and swollen face. Kristen Muir, Bryson's mother, is charged with one count of obstruction of justice. This is a look inside of the property we believe them to have lived on. Earlier when we got here this morning, at 7 o'clock, there were multiple state police cars out here, multiple SWAT vehicles. They have since left. We believe there's still one vehicle in there, and we're monitoring right now to see if there is any other activity happening inside. The most important update of the day, of course, Bryson Muir, the 14-year-old who has been missing for 17 days since June 16th, has been found and appears to be safe and well. He is now in the custody of the Cass County Department of Child Services. We are hoping to hear more from state police. We believe we'll be able to talk to them later on this morning, as this saga, this unusual saga that state police has been dealing with the Muir family, now appears to be over here in Logansport at this large property.
Yeah, Eric,
Angela and Zach, I want to send it back to you.
yeah,
Anything?
Yeah, we have so many questions. And I know you've been looking in there and zooming in now. And if we can go back to that picture, because a lot of people have been asking, we got to talk a little bit about this earlier about.
Oh my goodness. So does the home look familiar to you, Davita?
Yes, because Pastor Dabo B's live on there. I just sent you one about happened 2 months ago, a disturbing documentary on Pastor Darwell and Straightway, because they have it on their compound, and there's a video from somebody else. Former NFL player's son is still missing, but as of what we just seen, he's been found safe. But there's other things, there's other stuff about him.
Oh no.
There's Born Road did a video 3 months ago. Pastor Darwell and Straightway situation is worse than we thought. And see, I see a video where they showed the wife of that boy. She wears her hair in a scarf like Hebrew Israelites do. And this was 11 hours ago. And this is 35-minute video by JLR Investigates. So it's only a matter of time, because he's been getting away with this for a while. He's another smooth Casanova manipulator charmer. So he be getting people that, and you got to go by his rules and stuff like that. But yeah, he would play on people's minds who's going through things at home and try to come to his camp to get better. You know?
Yeah. Okay, so this one says cult leader P. Diddy Dowell of Straightway Ministries under fire for beating of missing boy Bryson Muir. All right, let's get into it, y'all.
Righteous, sir. You're not. You're not righteous at all. You're evil. You're wicked. Because you're making merchandise of the gospel. You got the truth of Bryson's safety, but you are requesting people to go to your Patreon to pay money to see it.
Oh my goodness. Are you serious?
And the last video I'm sharing is a person that was at his camp, and he's sharing his experience, and look like it's a white guy.
Okay, you said it's the last one?
The last one, a white guy. This was just a few months ago, before this whole thing about the boy. Because why would a dad do that to his son? Now it explains that. It explains that.
Yes.
And see, whenever I became aware of the Father's name, the Heavenly Father's name and stuff, it is a Hebrew name. You know what I mean? In the book of Deuteronomy 28, it talks about that. But see, I think that Black people took it to the head when it comes to Hebrew Israelites. It's a way of living righteous with the Heavenly Father. But they use this as some Black people use this as a manipulation. Because there are times I will wear my hair in scarves and things like that, and people will ask me and things like that. But a lot of the men in that era that's taking it serious to have multiple wives, a lot of them are pedos. This is a lot in that culture over there. So I don't talk about Hebrew Israelites, but I'm more for the spirituality of it, with getting closer to the Heavenly Father, doing what's right, eating what's right, honoring and being respectful, and being celibate and abstinent and things, cherishing my temple the way it needs to be, you know?
Yeah, he has music in his, so I'll just play like a little piece of it. Let's roll.
To the fellowship, you know? So there was mainly just elders or whatever. So if I brought anything up, there was a feast, and I brought up, we were working on a feast, and this elder got pissed at me, like pissed.
Sound like you couldn't bring any ideas. It was about here. Actually, I'm gonna share this one. Where's where's the other one that you sent me? I want to put both of those brothers' channels in here.
Now, there's another guy closer to y'all ministries. He says, why the religious attack? Why the religious attack the righteous, exposing straightway truth ministries? Okay, that was 2 days ago when he did his.
Okay, so the first link was from the first video that we saw. This second link is going to be for this video. So they'll go in order in which we play them.
Yep. It's a lot with them, child. It's a lot. Like, in the beginning, he was so mesmerizable. I said, okay, he Hebrew Israelite. I'm going to see what he's talking about, you know. I follows him and I follows the Watchman Reports and his wife, Deborah, but she goes by redirecting on YouTube. And they're Hebrew Israelites as well. But some of them believe in having multiple wives. Some of them. They want to have multiple wives like Brother Polite. And I'm just not down with it. I'm not down with being part of that. So I'm staying single and do what's right and not being a harlot out here and being a woman of the world. No, ma'am. I don't have time for it. Because you gotta take care of your temple. You
do.
You gotta take care of your temple. And mixed spirits is real when having sex with multiple people, and it's not healthy. It's better to stick with one person and be loyal and faithful. But these men don't understand that it's too many distractions for single black men right now. You got threads and all that out now. It's more distractions for men being loyal to one woman. It's a lot of distractions out there.
Yeah.
It's a
Now
lot of
get into this. Sis. I just came across this. Did you send this to me?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So I just came across this in our back chat, and I want to share this because now you got me interested in this Dowell guy.
Oh,
now,
girl.
Be on him like white on rice. Okay.
And I'm gonna tell you, I found out about him because he was in a lot of scandals with dealing with different women and other men's wives. That's what caught me on to him. From a few years back, he was in a lot of different scandals on his camp, but it seemed like he changed his ways and was doing what's right. So I just said, let me just check it out. But when you brought this up and when I seen they said straightway, I said, what? I said, let's pull it up on YouTube because I follows that pastor that runs that. He's a good looking dude. Buff like a football player, but he got multiple wives. I found out he don't stick to one woman. He got more than one woman, and that's just dangerous. So I just be checking things out, but he's getting exposed. And what those cops gonna want from that man and his wife is to tell it if you don't want these felony charges. Because when you got child abuse charges on you, ooh, my God, that's worse than the unalive charges of first and second degree. When you're doing things on a child that's so vicious and abusive, oh my God, it's gonna be hard for you with a job and everything. That don't come off your record. That sticks on your record. So are they gonna? And he could lose him being in the NFL. He could lose his pension from the NFL behind stuff like that. Is it really worth it? Is it really worth that to lose your pension, to have child abuse charges on you? Because they're gonna have to give up something. They don't want those felony charges. I'm just saying, because NFL will take your pension and stuff with those types of felonies. So there's going to have to be some deal set, and they may be the ones to expose Pastor Dowell, so they won't go and do prison.
Well, listen here, where he was found, there's a police report.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
This is what they put out. This is what the Indiana State Police put out. They put out a statement. They said the raid went down. They put the statement out. Indiana State Police. This is a big deal. I mean, this required multiple agencies, 60 law enforcement. That's what they're reporting on. Multiple law enforcement. Let's just put it that way. The morning at approximately 6 a.m., members of the Indiana State Police SWAT team executed search and arrest warrants, both issued by the Cass County Circuit Court on Daniel and Kristen Muir's residence located 1740 West Highway 24 in Logansport. The operation led to the discovery of Daniel, Kristen, and Bryson at the home. Bryson was the subject of a silver alert, which was issued on June 28th. Daniel and Kristen Muir was taken into custody.
So listen here, June 28th. What day was that, sis?
That was 5 days ago. Well, more than 5 days ago. The 28th was on a
Friday.
Yeah, so last Friday. Yep.
Wow.
Because the week before that, Google checks out. Google AdSense checks came out on the 21st. So yeah, that was the last Friday of June. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
So
spooky.
Friday, and today is Wednesday.
The 3rd.
Wow. Let's go.
Without incident and remanded to the Cass County Jail. So they're in jail. Bryson Muir appeared safe and well, was released to the care and custody of the Cass County Department of Child Services. They didn't even put Bryson in the custody of any family member. I wouldn't. Here's what they're charged with. Daniel T. Muir, 40, Logansport, obstruction of justice, level 6 felony. Domestic battery, class A misdemeanor. So the misdemeanor is a slap on the wrist. But this faces up at 2.5 years in prison. I looked. Arrested and charged, Kristen Muir, 38, Logansport, obstruction of justice, level 6 felony. The Indiana State Police received assistance from the Logansport Police Department, Cass County Sheriff's Office, and Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department. So multiple agencies. This is an active criminal investigation. And as such, there is no further information to release at this time. ISP continues to encourage the public to come forward with any information that may have involving the incident with Bryson by calling the Peru Post, 1-800-382-0689. So if you have any information that can help prosecutors build a case against the Muirs, these are the type of parents, I despise these type of parents, for sure. I mean, this was their own son, and they did this. And not only did this, they couldn't even accept responsibility 2 weeks ago and say, hey, I hit him, and accept the fate of that, but instead wanted to.
Oh, this is a lot.
And I'm going to share you something that Eternal Treasures 12 more disturbing news on Pastor Dabo and Straightway. This came out 2 months ago. And what it looked like to me, the picture or the thumbnail, there's women in their scars bending down with the head down. My mom always told me, don't ever have your head down.
Mm-hmm. This is a lot.
Now, this is what you're calling, this is real right here. Now, this is some real stuff. But see, it be in these small neighborhoods people don't know about because it ain't on TV, like Diddy and all of that. Some people have, it's sad that some of us are given certain gifts where we could make money off other people, and it's sad it's like that, ain't it? Ain't that sad to have those types of things? But that's the world we live in. And Pastor Dowell realized that he had to give a gab, and he had the gift to use his power, but use it in a negative way instead of a positive way. What he should have done was to help Black men get their lives together, not cause more issues in the Black community that he's doing. And my son was 14. We just disciplined him, but giving him black eyes and stuff, no. My son is a light skin complexion. No, ma'am. I don't believe in that. And he's 18 now, and we stayed prayed up with him. Something must have went on where the child thought he could talk back. I don't know. But see, it hurts when a child was so used to a certain lifestyle, and then they left their home and their regular living. Now they're in some compound place being told when to get up and when to go to sleep. That's a change in reality. That could cause depression for children. Because the father played in the NFL, so I'm pretty sure they went traveling, doing trips and stuff, going to Disney World, having a freedom. But it ain't so much freedom, because when you're giving yourself to somebody like a Dowell, your freedom is gone because you're in a cult. You left your real life to be a part of that. Oh, heck no. Only younger people that's easier to be manipulated does this when they don't have a home, or mom throw them out, or their parents on drugs. They don't have a homeland or home front, and they're on the street. Because he looked like the type that will go out to the malls looking for troubled teens. He looked like that type of dude that he will have guys doing that. You don't think he got connections with DSS when girls there are pregnant and they mama throw them out? This is why we have what we have, because the home be so damaged that sometimes that we're born in, it could be so damaged where we find love in things and the people like Dowell, thinking that Dowell care about us because our dad didn't. I see that happen. I even experienced stuff like that. But I thank God that that's who you go to, is to him, but it's a hurt world out here. And this age group is worse than mine, because it's easier to manipulate now, because back then parents in the 80s especially, if you're going to hang with kids, you had to meet their parents before your mom will let you go over there. But in this day and time, it ain't like that no more. Parents are not parenting anymore. A lot has changed. And the 90s, a lot of that happened where the parents, I will have to fix myself something to eat. My mom would do her. I'm 15 years old. I would have to go to Winn-Dixie and buy my food on what I'm going to cook. At 15 years old, I remember when I would go and get cupcakes and things and make it and sell them at high school to earn money. At 15 years old, why these girls want to have their legs open and get pregnant at 15. I wasn't looking for that. I was just trying to make money, the honest way at that,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But see, you got people like Dole. It's the same thing as homeless shelters and battered women shelters. They do the same thing. It's just a different way they do it. What he's doing. He's trying to help people who don't got nowhere to go to be a part of his community. You take part of the community and you got free room and board. That's what that's about. You live there for free. You contribute your time and helping the ministry. And the way homelessness is happening and what COVID did to people, losing their places and stuff, and family ain't getting along. I'm pretty sure he got more and more people there. And then you got white people there. That's what's weird to me. Because his Israelites talks about the 1/3 who's really going to see the Heavenly Father when time is up. You see, when I had to get on my knees and ask God for forgiveness, when I had to come to the reality of the religions that goes on here, how they manipulated Black people since slavery and things,
Absolutely.
And people don't like talking about it because it's so sensitive. But that's why I look at holidays as paganism. The Heavenly Father has nothing to do with that. And they thought they did something for finalizing Juneteenth, but they always been trying to keep us below everything. How about give us our acres and our mule? Then I have something to say then. You won't even do that. And some states are now looking into giving people their money that's owed from slavery times. The state of New York is trying to do that. I still want mine. You know what I'm saying? Because God is awesome. He gives us gifts and skills, and we could become successful. We don't need to sell our soul for the money. You got the internet, you got AI that can make you successful. AI can make you ebooks, and you can make money off Amazon. It's unbelievable what you could do. And that's why Fiverr ain't making money like they used to. Because when I was doing Fiverr, everybody was making money. But when AI came into play, the same thing you want people to do on Fiverr, AI could do it for you for cheaper in the midst of a second now. I got this tool called Designer, and they give us credits with one of the AI tools, and I created a 16-page ebook out of a different topic I wanted. And I said, dang. Canva is changing. You could create blog posts and things in Canva. They got the Canva AI tool in there. I could make designs in the Magic Design tool in Canva now. It's a lot that's changing where Fiverr, even though I got a website selling digital templates, Canva templates, but people are learning how to do it themselves. It's going to be hard to make money in the designing space because AI has changed a lot of that. So Pastor Dowell, he been doing this for decades. And I believe he was raised up on this. I believe his dad or someone put him on this. He just didn't do this on his own. This was passed down to him. And he's made money. And he probably got those people's social security and all that coming to him. That's how they do it. So you know he got networks. He got networks with the court system, with juvenile, and with DSS and stuff from troubled people that don't have a place to go. Trust me. He gets phone calls day and night. So they be banking on that. That's why they got to have people that's come from hardship homes and not support a family, because you got people like Pastor Dowell to come in and play on their weakness and their hardships and play on that and try to replace that and act like they love them and they won't hurt anymore. Like a pimp does a woman that don't know what to do. It's the same type of mentality. But when you know who you are, you don't need nobody like a Pastor Dowell to manipulate you. So it's all about your mindset and who you know who you are. But it hurts me that man, how you gonna work in the NFL and you gonna lower yourself to that, and you got your son beat up like that? You ain't no father at all, dude. So there's gonna be a deal put on the table with that dude. Trust and believe there's gonna be a deal put. Either he gonna do time and have those felony charges of child abuse and lose his compensation or his payments or royalties from the NFL, because the NFL don't stand for that. Either he does that or he got to tell more about Pastor Dowell in his compound out there. There's more to this. There's going to be more coming out if he decides to do what's right. It depends if the dad is going to do what's right, because he needs to be detoxed spiritually, because he's been in a cult. You took your children from a lifestyle they were so used to, and Pastor Dowell and them came in your home into a thief of a night and took your normal living away to be in this thing. Those compound things, there's nothing fun about that. I don't think it is. I think you don't have your privacy anymore, and you're being told what to do, and you have to get up at a certain time, like the military and all of that. So I don't know. You got to be a weak-minded person to allow that to happen. But I get it because of the playouts and the plays that goes on in these households. It's a hard, sad reality. But if we as parents and loved ones could do what's right and make sure our children don't go astray and get caught up in people like that, then this world will be a better place. But as long as we got mothers that's not mothering and dads not daddying, and the children are out in the street, they're gonna get caught up with men like this who could play on their weakness and their emotions.
It's why it's so important to have those conversations. But sis,
Absolutely.
I'm like Ringo, he's live right now. I
Oh
think I'm
yeah.
gonna I think I'm gonna go over there with my notepad and really get down into this because there was no reason why that young man should have been beat like that. I mean, they beat him.
It hurts
It's,
me to see that. A bully won't even do that. Will hurt that. He was hit by multiple people.
yeah,
Don't they know that his eyes and things could get damaged? The tissue and all that could be damaged. So
they
so
yeah.
they need to take him away from them. They're monsters. He needs to go into a safe place. That's not safe there because what I'm getting, the 14-year-old's life has changed. He was used to a life going out on trips, playing on his PlayStation,
Mm-hmm.
hanging with friends in the neighborhood. That's what he was used to. And then Pastor Dawa and them came in there and like what they say, what the devil does, kill, steal, and destroy. They came in there in the thief of the night and took them from their normal life. So it's been hard for that 14-year-old boy. So he needs to tell everything to the whoever he could trust so he could get the justice because he needs justice. And
He does.
I can't believe a grown man that played in the field will allow to be done like that. Oh my God. People really don't have a mind of their own. Are you serious? Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
All right, sis. Well, listen here. We have been here for going on um a great amount of time. But listen here, let the people know where they can find you, and then we still have to book our interview with you so you can let the people know what you're doing and how you're doing it.
Absolutely. Okay, guys, I have a YouTube channel called The Work From Home Queen. You'll see my face and my curly hair there. You'll see it, and I have my podcast there because I was doing podcasting. And you will see little clips of my different blog posts on different jobs, that's who's hiring and things like that. And it's called a Work From Home Queen. And you can find it on YouTube, guys. But I'm praying for that young boy. I'm praying for him. I don't know him, but I'm praying for him. He didn't deserve that. My heart goes out to him, and I pray to God that that boy gets his justice for real, for real.
Absolutely. And we're going to pray for everybody involved. Thank you so much for coming by and really balance our sister out. Because, like I said, this was a very heavy topic and it was a great experience. And if you are enjoying our rotating co host, let us know if you are interested. On that note, I'm your host, Queen Tulsa, and this concludes our live broadcast. Until next time, so long.
Shalom.
Girls can't never say how. Girls can't never say they need it. Girls can't never say nah. Girls can't never say they want it. Girls can't never say how. Girls can't never say they need it. Girls can't never say nah. Oh nah. Give it to me like you need it, baby. Want you to hear me screaming, happy breathing. I don't need a reason, baby. I want it till you can't fight. I can get it to you right, baby. I wanna be healing. I can be real good. We don't get these feelings. Hey, I need some love.